Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte. Guys, I have to talk about this. This is the New York Islanders making a trade. Lou Lamoriello. Oh, I would give him a kiss on his beautiful bald head right now if I could. Probably wouldn't like that too much, but Lou Lamoriello has just freed the Islanders $10 million in cap space over the last 2 days. And this is huge for the New York Islanders. So we'll be getting into that in this video. So the trade is pretty straightforward. The Islanders didn't acquire any assets, and I still think they won the trade. Yes. So the New York Islanders trade 4 different pieces here to the Arizona Coyotes. So the New York Islanders trade a 2021 second round pick, a 2022 second round pick, a 2023 third round pick, and forward Andrew Ladd and his $5.5 million AAV contract. In exchange, the New York Islanders acquire nothing. And for Islanders fans, including myself, that puts a grin on my face. The Islanders don't need anything. The Islanders win by getting cap space. And the Islanders, this is huge news for the New York Islanders. $10 million in cap space. Now, I know a lot of fans around the league are a little bit butthurt that the Islanders were able to do what they just did. And this is huge, 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 huge for the New York Islanders. So, all right, so we got to get into the ramifications. So the Andrew Ladd thing. Andrew Ladd, at 35 years old, for the last 2 seasons has pretty much been exiled to the Bridgeport Sound Tigers in the AHL. Now the Bridgeport Islanders, which I'm gonna keep calling them the Sound Tigers, but whatever. He's making $5.5 million per season. That is the main reason Lamoriello made this trade. He had to move out this abysmal contract. And I honestly didn't think the Islanders would be able to do it. Here we are. The Islanders moved it out. And the Islanders moved out $11 million. Now, I think the Islanders are going to be paying Andrew. This is more of I don't think this is a very front-loaded contract. That's the problem. So the Coyotes are going to have to pay Andrew Ladd a little bit. But if you look at the situation for the Coyotes, they lost their second-round pick last year. They lost their first-round pick this year and their third-round pick this year because of this whole scouting debacle where they were illegally scouting players and stuff like that. So there is something to be said for that. So looking at the Arizona Coyotes, they just wanted draft picks. That's what they've been acquiring over the last 48 hours is a bunch of draft picks to compensate for losing their first and third round pick this year. And the Coyotes are ready to go into a rebuild, and I think that we're going to see them continue that potentially this summer. If they don't sign guys like Connor Garland, if they move on from guys like Phil Kessel, Alex Goligoski, Darcy Kemper, Antti Ranta, we could see more moves done after the expansion when teams don't have to protect players. Don't be surprised if the Coyotes still make a bunch of moves to continue to sell off some assets to get better for the future. And I think this Andrew Ladd contract, bringing that in for draft picks, is a perfect example of that. Now, Islanders fans, this is a win because the Islanders did not give up a first-round pick because, honestly, the price would have been a first-round pick. You look at back a couple years ago when Vegas came in, the Islanders gave up University of Michigan defenseman Jake Bischoff, who was, I think, a third or fourth round pick playing in Bridgeport, Mikhail Grabowski and his $5 million cap hit, and they also gave Jean-Francois Berube, who ended up going to the Vegas Golden Knights. This is cheaper than that, and I don't really understand what the whole premise of this is. Now, I get why the Coyotes are doing it. It's just draft picks. Draft picks, draft picks, draft picks. And you just hope one of these 30 darts hopefully hits the board and they're able to get a good player. And hopefully he resigns, unlike Connor Garland. So, all kidding aside, the Coyotes need draft picks. And you look at where they're at. So they don't have their first this year. They have 3 second-round picks this year, which one of them was from the New York Islanders, from the Devon Tays trade. So they have their own second-round pick, the Colorado Avalanche second, which they just got from the Islanders, and they have Columbus's second-round pick. They don't have their third-round pick. They have Pittsburgh's fourth, And they also don't have their 7th for this year and next. Next year, they have their 1st, they have their own 2nd, they have the Islanders 2nd, and the San Jose Sharks 2nd, and their own 3rd. And then to continue that, they have their own 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in 2023. But there is one attachment here. I'm trying to find the condition, if it will let me. It's not letting me. Why is it not letting me? Can you not? Can you just sit there for a sec? Come on. No. All right. Well, if I could ever figure this out. The Islanders, there's a condition on that 3rd round pick. Come on. Help me out here. Hook a brother up. Thank you. So it's a conditional 2023 3rd round pick. The condition is the 3rd round pick is transferred if Ladd plays in at least one game in 2022-2023. So that's next year. So Andrew Ladd has to play one game next year. So that means that Arizona can't buy him out this summer, and they have to keep him next year, which I assume the Coyotes will probably do. I mean, the thing is, Andrew Ladd can play in the NHL, but he did not look good. He played one game with the Bridgeport Sound Tigers this year, and he didn't look good. And the Bridgeport Sound Tigers were probably the worst team in the AHL last season, and he couldn't even crack their roster. So, and they're paying him $5.5 million for this year and next per season. So, I'm not really liking this deal, but again, they're picking up draft picks. They pick up 2 seconds and a conditional 3rd, which we probably won't see that condition, but there's a chance that we see that happen. Who wins this trade? The Islanders, because they moved out cap space. But this could turn out to be a good trade for the Coyotes. I'm not saying the Islanders fleece the Coyotes in this deal. I really don't. I think the Coyotes picking up multiple draft picks in the top 3 rounds of the draft definitely helps them, and it kind of takes away from some of the sting of not having draft picks, number 1, number 3, and the next 2 years of 7ths. I think it does weigh it out just a little bit more. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think of this trade? Who won the trade? Is it a fair trade for both teams? Seems like the Islanders get the cap space they wanted. They just traded Nick Leddy out to the Detroit Red Wings. They move on now from Andrew Ladd, and they had to give up a bunch of draft picks. So the Islanders now, I mean, just to quickly go over, the Islanders do not have a lot of draft picks. And we know Lou Lamoriello is very careful about his first-round picks. He won't give up his first-round pick next year. He just won't do that. And he already traded his first-round pick to the New Jersey Devils this year for Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac. The Islanders have a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th. In next year's draft, they don't have their own 2nd, their own 4th, or their own 7th. They traded that for Braden Coburn. And they traded their 3rd to the Coyotes here for Andrew Ladd. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below of this trade. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to join the Goal Line Hockey Army, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.